Hey guys, we got a long video today. I want to do one of my memory videos and get right into it. What it was is I bought this the other day. I think I showed you, and I wore it. This is Gillette aftershave gel for sensitive skin. It used to be Cool Wave aftershave gel back in the day, um, and it brought up a memory. And I'm going to talk about it because I want to, and it's probably going to be long. So you don't have to watch if you don't want to, but some of you like these long memory videos, and it gives you a glimpse into my life, my past, why I am the way I am, things like that. Um, so 1993 is when this came out. Uh, Said formerly known as Cool Wave. You can still get Cool Wave aftershave, but not the gel anymore. It's this stuff now. I don't know exactly how close it is to Cool Wave, but when I put it on, I was instantly. I mean, sometimes you just instantly brought back and flooded with memories, good memories, good memories. Even the bad memories build your character, right? That whole few years I dated her, and it brought back. So it was so fun just putting this on. I mean, I literally put this on in the bathroom, and some of you guys, well, you guys are into fragrances, you know what I mean. It didn't quite bring a tear to my eye, but it welled up with the good memories, like, and I just sat there and I put it on. I'm like, hands on the sink, just smile. Oh my God. And you guys see me sometimes when I smell something, I'll smell it and be like, close my eyes till my memories are coming back. I'm weird that way, I know. But anyway, 1993, formerly known as Cool Wave. I couldn't find any notes on it, so you're not getting any notes. But it's a light, very light fragrance. It's not. They even advertise it as it won't overpower a cologne if you put a cologne on afterwards, which is true. It is very light. Not right away though. Like most aftershave and aftershave gel, it's pretty prominent for about 15, 20 minutes, but we'll get into that. So what is it really? It's cool, it's refreshing, it's not greasy or sticky. I mean, it's a little greasy and sticky once you put it on, but within a minute, it kind of absorbs in. It's not greasy, it's not sticky. Um, some people say it smells like Dracar Noir. And it kind of has aspects of that, but it's not exactly, it's a very fresh, with a lot more emphasis put on like a watery vibe, not aquatic, not oceanic, but just kind of watery, fresh kind of vibe. So you definitely got some stuff in there like I imagine cologne, not cologne. Uh, you definitely got some lavender in there. There's a little bit of woods, a little bit of musk, stuff like that, with a real heavy dose of cooling menthol. And you don't really get to smell so much, just that effect that cooling menthol has, and it really cools your skin after you shave. Uh, so yeah, it's a fresh, watery, somewhat barbershoppy, cooling aftershave. Um, has a bit of what I remember too, like the Cool Wave when it first came out. All of them, I had the Cool Wave shave gel, this Cool Wave gel, the Cool Wave aftershave balm, or not balm, splash, and the Cool Wave deodorant, the gel deodorant, and they all smell the same. So this might kind of smell deodorant like to some people, which is fine. It's okay. It's not bad, and it does burn a slight bit, so there must be a little bit of alcohol in here, but not much at all. And I even cut my skin right there shaving when I put it on. It didn't really burn, so it's okay. I said longevity, an hour and a half, 2 hours if I'm being generous with it, but it's not designed to be they even say it won't overpower in their own ads. It won't overpower your cologne. It is just basically a refreshment after you shave for half hour. Then put your cologne on, right? But to smell, like I said, an hour and a half, 2 hours if I'm being generous. Um, does project for about 15, 20 minutes. Pretty good like most aftershaves, but it's never projection based or anything like that. It's just a nice cooling aftershave gel that really has a nostalgia throwback factor for me. And I just love it. I do. Now I was gonna go buy the whole kit and caboodle and stuff and do a big shave video on it. And I figured, no, I don't have to do that. This set me off perfectly. Um, so let me get into the memory part now. that was the quick review. Let me get into the memory part. If you don't want to watch it, fine, you stop now. But this is where it's probably going to be a little long. So picture it. 1994 was the 19th or 20th of June. I can't remember. So basically the end of spring, the start of summer. I was in high school. She was just graduating junior high. Uh, I was going into grade 11. She was coming into grade 10. Um, and for those of you who don't know, when I was in school, it was 20 years ago now, elementary school went from kindergarten to grade 6. Middle school, junior high went from 7 to grade 9. And then high school went from 10 to 12. Well, they changed it. Actually, she was the last graduating class, grade 9 graduating class ever in this province, because they changed it to be more in line with the rest of because most of the rest of the country, it was, elementary was kindergarten to 5, middle school was 6, 7, 8, and high school was 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So they changed it that year. So she was the last, and they made a big deal about that. It was fun, about them being the last grade 9 class ever to graduate from, the junior high. Now, we were just coming out of, my father they've been on strike for a couple of years, and we weren't financially set before they went on strike. We weren't bad, but we were still poor. And now we were dirt poor, but we were just starting to come out of it now. The strike had been over for, about a year. Work was starting to come back. Parents were starting to get a little bit of pocket money, and it was the start of where we were. They got to later on, middle class, even upper middle class by some standards. But then we were still poor, but we weren't near as dirt poor as we were a year ago type deal, right? So, but I still had that I got to buy stuff when I can afford it aspect and when it's on sale. So this stuff was expensive back in the day. This was, the deodorant was like $3. This was $3. And I believe the shave gel was $4, if I'm not mistaken, right? And the aftershave was 6 or 7. And anyway, they had a buy one get one free at Lawton's Drugs. I remember it was Lawton's because we were down the mall with her, and it was a couple days before the whole thing, her graduation, and I had managed. I had 20 or $30. I did some work doing something. So I had more than that because I bought a supper and paid for the cab. Neither one of us drove. We were kids, right? Paid for the cab there and back. Bought a supper and snacks for that night. I remember I was working. I did worked with my uncle doing his roofing thing. It was the first year I did the roofing thing. And I only worked a few weeks, but I got a few $100s, so it was great, right? Anyway, it's another story for another time. So anyway, and I was like, I got to get some deodorant, right? Because I've got some money, and we were that poor that at that point I didn't know when I'd get deodorant again. I said we were coming out of that, of course, but up until then, so I was still in buy in bulk, right, mode. 14-year-old boy. Buying in bulk, right? So we went to Lawton's because she wanted to get her snacks, and she had her lipstick there that I bought her. She was a pretty girl too. And before somebody, you want to go back? No, it was 25 fucking years ago. No desire to go back, but she was my first love, and it's like your first car. You know what I mean? You never forget it. You always have a special spot in your heart for your first car, even for for your first love usually. But she was a very pretty girl, too pretty for me. I mean, she was literally doing some modeling. She was a dancer, cheerleader. All this blonde hair, blue eyes. For a 13-year-old, very shapely. Very tall and statuesque. Very gorgeous, 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 gorgeous girl she was. And anyway, so that's why I treated her so well. It's like I ain't getting any better than this. So anyway, yeah. we were going to her prom in a few days, and she said, well, I better get some deodorant, right? Because I'm running low. So we went into Lawton so she'd get her stuff, and I was like, you know what? And she liked Lawton's always had the ketchup chips. I forget. I think it was Hostess ketchup that she liked, so she wanted her ketchup chips. Anyway, funny, I was a kid. You can eat whatever you want and not gain fucking weight, right? Now I look at a bag of chips and I've got to do 12 sit-ups. Fuck. But anyway, um, we're there and I seen that they had this new stuff, right? Because this had just come out like 6 months before that, and I was like, oh, it's on sale too, and it was on sale too for buy one get one free, or it was like 2 for $5. I can't remember. It was a good deal anyway. And I remember she really liked the Cool Wave stuff, so I bought, like I said, the Cool Wave aftershave, the balm, a deodorant, and the shaving gel. And I think it was called Wild Rain by them. I can't remember now. I think it was called that. It was like the same kind of, just a different scent, but the same series. So I got all 4 of them in the Wild Rain line. And I also bought some disposable Bic razors because Mach 3 hadn't come out yet. And the cartridge ones they had, the 2-bladed cartridge ones, were the track tubes were a little too much money for Pokey. So I got the Gillette, or not the Gillette, the Bic disposables. And I also remember I bought some soaps, some Ivory soap, and like I said, snacks and whatnot. And then we went and had supper, and I think we actually went to Blockbuster too, which just tells you how long ago that was. And we rented a movie or two and went back to my house, and we had a beautiful night, you know. And anyway, so come a few days later, come time for her graduation, I still had about $100 and a half on me. It's a lot of money back then for a kid, 14-year-old kid back. For a 14-year-old kid now, 150 is kind of a lot of money. Back then, it was the equivalent of like $300, right? So I'm the man, right? You know, and I'd reserved us. Well, not just me. I mean, we half a dozen of us reserved a table for the Pizza Delight that was down the road from her school, and that's where we had our dinner and stuff after prom dinner. And so, but I want you to picture this. It's 1994. I'm getting ready for her. You know, got out of the shower, and it's about 5 o'clock ish. You know, I remember all this stuff. It's weird, I know. And out of the shower, I just shaved with my new Bic disposable razor, and I had clean shaven back then. I barely grow a beard, right? I could grow one though, but it took like 2 months for it to come in, just so you could see it. And then all of a sudden, by 16, it was boom. But anyway, so I just shaved with my disposable razor, using my Gillette Cool Wave shave gel because she liked the Cool Wave. Put the Cool Wave gel on, put the Cool Wave aftershave, the Cool Wave gel deodorant, you know, on. You know, an Ace of Base, I believe it was Ace of Base, or Base's Ace or whatever it was. All That She Wants Is a Baby or something like that was playing on the radio because we had a little plug-in AM radio that I put in the bathroom, just because, again, I didn't have a lot of money, so I didn't have a CD player or anything yet. And yeah, so it was playing on the radio. It was #1 in the country, and I remember that song playing as I'm getting ready. And you know, she and we got to the dance. My friend from high school, who was 16 at the time, had a car, or got his parents' car, and he was going with another girl from the junior high. And so he picked us all up, right? And we all went to the prom, and we had a good time dancing. I remember, I think our first song was dance to was Bon Jovi, Bed of Roses, if I'm not mistaken. She looked so pretty that night. She had on a white and red dress, and I bought her the white and red, or the white carnations dipped in red croissant, whatever it's called, croissant, not croissant, whatever it's called, you know what I mean. And hair, all makeup. She was gorgeous, beautiful young girl she was. And again, way too good for an ugly mug like this. And but she liked me, so I don't know why. And so, but it was funny because I was funny things too is again, I'm 2, maybe even 3 years older than some of these people, right? Because you've got grade 7 kids, and I'm going into grade 11 at this dance, right? And they weren't graduating, obviously, but they might have had a date or whatever. But I remember walking in, and the kids, I hear a few of them whispering. I still hear it in my head. That's Shelly's boyfriend. He's a bodybuilder. He's a football player. Don't make Shelly mad. Like, even back then, I was like, oh, whatever, guys, And they were staring at me as I'm going to the bathroom, walking by. They're like, and I was bigger than most of the kids, obviously. I mean, I was lifting weights. This pretty much I started a year before that, and playing ball. And I mean, naturally, I was short, 5'6", 5'7", but I was a big boy, right? So she, yeah, and then we went after that. And I don't remember much of the dance, believe it or not. It's weird, some things you remember. I remember dancing a lot with her and dancing in a circle like kids do, and songs go on. And the CNC Music Factory, Going to Make You Sweat. They played that and dancing away, and it was a good time. And then we went to, like I said, Pizza Delight afterwards. We all piled into Neil's parents' car, and went to Pizza Delight. And we all had our pizza and stuff, and we went to the Res, the beach, because they were having you have an after party, right, after prom party. And we had a few alcoholic beverages, of course. Very young. We didn't load up. Like I said, I think I had 3 or 4 beer. And she had maybe one of them, But we were lucky too, because the cops did show up, because there was a lot of kids there. Probably 100 kids at then, but we were over. I think I talked about the Res before, and it's got this area where you had to either take an ATV or 4-wheel drive. And Neil's SUV at the time was a Bronco, so he could get through, his parents' Bronco, so he could get through there. So we were at the Tenpenny area, halfway on the other side of the beach, and we were quiet because we seen the cops come, turn off the lights, smothered the fire, waited, and we're in the bushes. Neil's truck was a little car truck thing. SUV was a little ways down, so they couldn't see it when they looked over with the flashlights. And we waited, and they took a bunch of the kids away. A bunch of the parents showed up. That ended that party, but when they left, we waited about a half hour, or it seemed like a half hour. It's probably only 5 or 10 minutes, but we waited, and we started it back up and finished our party and stayed there all night. We had tents, and we stayed there all night because we were too smart then to drink and drive. At least Neil was. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the story, guys. I mean, it was prom night. It was this. Brought back all those memories of that night, and nights with her, days with her, dating her, high school days, junior high and high school days. Like, it was just, like I said, and you guys are fragrance people, so you'll understand what I mean. When I put it on, I was literally brought back with my eyes welled up, but not sad, but like smile, like just. I kind of want to do it now because it's so. I put a little bit on, but a half hour was really light, like I said. But yeah, so don't get this expecting to be a performance monster or anything. But if you've got, it's a really good after. It really does help after you shave. So if you need a good aftershave and you don't want anything to overpower what you're wearing, it really will do that. And just don't expect great performance from it, guys. Honestly, said 2 hours max, and I'm being very generous by a good half hour, 40 minutes. But in my mind, it'll last forever. I think it's the best way to end that. All right, guys. Peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves. Oh, tell me about any of your stories with a fragrance like that. A first love, a first dance, first kiss, whatever. I'm very interested. I love stories like that. So tell me. Make a video. Do it in the comments. I don't know. Do something. Let me know. If you make a video, link it to me, and I'll watch it. All right, guys. Peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.